Thank you, Mr. Pritchard. It's an honour to serve under your chairship. I join my honourable friends in expressing my condolences to all those who have been killed on both sides since October 7th, but since 1948. And I join in the condemnation of all war crimes committed by any state actor or group. As Israel launches a land grab in Syria and continues to bomb Lebanon, there is a danger its continuing actions in Gaza will get lost in the egregious cycle of death and destruction in the Middle East. It is timely, therefore, that we discuss yet again what contribution the UK can make to peace in the region. Unfortunately, the record of this government to date has been abysmal. As mentioned by my honourable friends, the UK continues to supply spare parts to F-35 fighter jets, playing a major part in the Israeli military offensive. And it refuses to introduce any meaningful actions. Words, condolences, and reports of meetings and pressing Israeli officials to do more. This is not enough. And there is much more that the UK can do. Worse, in its refusal to admit the nature of the military offensive in Gaza, this government is culpable in the mass murder taking place. Our Prime Minister and Foreign Secretary may not understand what constitutes acts of genocide in international law, but thankfully human rights organisations do. We have heard about the recent Amnesty International report, which is unequivocal. Israeli actions against Gaza's 2.3 million population is genocide. There is also note how the Israeli government are acting with impunity. Our government, the US, and other allies to Israel have granted Israel immunity from war crimes, ethnic cleansing and genocide for decades. Today is the day that must stop. The British government must end its complicity in the Israeli war crimes and in the genocide that is taking place. Our role must be to challenge the arrogance and complacency of Israel and send a message that Palestine exists. Its people have a right to live free of occupation and to have a state of their own. This government claims it is committed to a two-state solution, and so is everybody in this room, but they have taken no meaningful action to make it a reality. The recognition of a Palestinian state is therefore a prerequisite for peace. The reply normally given to the ask to recognise Palestine, that this is not the right time to recognise a Palestinian state, but I think from all the strong and passionate and powerful speeches we have heard, the time is now. We know from our own experience of the peace process in Northern Ireland, it is too simple to reduce political violence to irrational hatred or religious bigotry. Where you have a political conflict, you have political reasons to create a pathway to those solutions. This government can help create that pathway both by stopping its supply of spare parts to F-35 fighter jets and all other weapons, and by joining with the vast majority of the UN members in formally recognising a Palestinian state. Thank you.
We now move on to the front benches.